What's up guys, welcome to another video. So today we are about to do a battery relocation. So the battery, I'm gonna put the battery, I'm gonna send it to the trunk, because pretty much, if you've been following the videos, you know that I'm cleaning the engine bay. So this is a very simple, upgrade that you can do to your car. I mean, the battery relocation is not as hard as you think. It's the way, some people explain it. So this is really easy. You need a 10mm socket just to get the terminals out. That's the first thing you gotta do. Take your terminals out. Same with the ground. Grab your battery. Let's go to the back. Oh yeah, we have a very special guest. Oh yes, my dream car. That thing is beautiful. It's a 1981 Volkswagen Bug. It's a 1.6 4-cylinder. It's not dual port. It's a single port. But just look at her. It's a girl. So beautiful car. So the battery, I'm gonna try to find a way to place it somewhere. Maybe there. No, that's not a good idea. That's not a good idea because I still need my spare tire, so I might put it here. I'm just going to do, some type of a base for the battery. So the battery is gonna be pretty much there. Yes, that's what my battery is gonna be. Now let me just show you, what type of cable you need. Okay, there's a lot of things that you gotta consider, if you're about to do a battery relocation. One is the wire. The second thing is that you're gonna have to have, some type of kill switch. I mean, not really a switch, but if you buy one of these big ass relays from the AUDI store or go to Walmart or something, it's about this thick. They use it, for the audio of the car. So that one I can explain to you, later. So this is what I'm gonna be using. This is for a 2-gauge wire. So as you can see, I have 3. One needs to come, from the battery. The other one is gonna go to the alternator, and the other one is gonna go to my starter. And then you need another one to supply, the fuse box that you have on top of the battery. So one of these small ones, is gonna be for that. So let me just get the cables ready, and then I'll show you, what I'm gonna do to the car. First thing that you gotta do, guys, is just get these 4 bolts out. I already lose them. This is the tray. It's the battery tray. So get these ones out. So this gotta come out. Now, okay, the second thing, guys, is that you're going to follow the negative cable, which is this one right here. And this cable, I hope you are able to see. Let me just get this out of the way. With a 13mm socket, you're gonna get this one out. It's right behind. No, that's for my brake booster hose. You're not really gonna be able to see it, but it's this one. It's right here. So we're gonna get this out, and then we are going to take this one right here. So this is for the same ground cable. We can do the same thing, in the trunk. Same thing, we can just do 2 holes over there and put the same cable over there. There is no need for us to buy another cable. This is the same thing. This is a 13mm. So you get this one out. And this one can you see it? See, with this cable right here is a negative cable. We can do a hole here and another hole, somewhere over here, and that way we're gonna have some good ground for the battery. So that one, there is no reason to buy another cable. Now after that, guys, what you gotta do is you gotta take the cable, that goes from the starter. That is the main cable, the power cable. This one just supplies the starter, so this one has to come out. Okay, get this one out. Just pull the cable out. After that, guys, what we're gonna do with a power cable, we're just gonna get the little nut, that is holding the terminal, not the terminal, but that nut is holding this part right here. So this one right here, we're gonna connect it to the box that we bought, to do this, to do the battery relocation. This one, the only thing that we might need is just the terminal. So we're just gonna save this one. Nope. We might need the terminal and the cable. That way we don't have to buy any more cable to put the starter, and you don't have to buy any other terminals. Now after that, guys, what you gotta do, this is a 10mm socket, so you gotta get this little nut out. Yes, let me do it, then I'll show you. Okay guys, next thing I'm going to do, I'm gonna cut this cable. This is the one coming from the alternator. So this cable, I'm gonna still be using this cable. This is the one that I took out of the box. This cable used to be here. So this is the one, coming from the alternator. I'm gonna cut it and I'm gonna add it to this box right here. As you can see, I already put it in here. This is the one going to the alternator. Now this used to be the positive cable, of the battery, the power cable, but the power cable goes to the starter. So this one right here, I'm gonna cut it. I'm gonna cut the terminal and I'm gonna add it to the box too. Now guys, what I did, this was the cable, that goes to this used to be the positive cable of the battery. This is for the power cable. So what I did is I cut the terminal, and then I noticed that there's no way that I can be using the same terminal. So that doesn't really matter. I'm just gonna get another terminal. I already did. And just like I told you that I was gonna be using the same ground cable, so I use the same ground cable. Now I drew a hole here, another one there. Just make sure they're tight, they don't go nowhere. And now I use another terminal for my for the power. And as you can see, this is my 2-gauge wire going from the battery all the way down from underneath the car. And I decided to do, from the outside of the car, I mean from the bottom of the car. I'm not gonna run the cable through the inside of the car, because when I was going to buy my cable, this is what I saw, and you don't want this happen to your car. No bueno. One that happening to your car. So my power cable goes from the battery all the way there. I'm gonna make it look neater. So it goes from underneath the car. Then let me see if you can see from here. That's my cable. It rolls all the way down through there, through the exhaust. Like I said, I'm gonna try to make it, look neater. Like just put more, dig more holes, put more zip ties. So just find a way, just to hide the cable more. But right now, I'm just doing this just so I can give you an idea, how you can do it. And then the cable goes from over there all the way there. There. You see zip tie here, all the way down there. And then here, it goes from, oh my god, I just lost my camera. Goes right here all the way down here, zip tied there, and then that's the distribution block that I'm gonna be using. Like I told you, this is the one for the starter. I mean, yeah, for the starter, and it goes to the main power of the battery. So this one I'm just gonna send it down here. And what I did to my alternator cable, you see, it used to be up here on top of this right here. So what I did, I just run it down through this hole. So actually, you know, the cable is running down. You can really see it. You see, to me, you know, about a relocation is about tucking cables and make, you know, the engine bay looks cleaner. I got rid of this box, and as you can see, I put it there. Here I have the N249 and the N112 and all the harness for it, all the cables I have in there. So as you can see, the engine bay is looking much cleaner. So now, you know, this used to be a little red cable coming from the box, from the fuse box. So now this cable is going to the distribution block here. This is our main cable coming from the battery. This is our cable from the starter. I'm gonna install it here. And this is our cable for the alternator. So this one goes down here, the other one goes up here, and I'm gonna try to place the distribution block box here, somewhere here. I'm just gonna drill a hole, put a screw or something, but I'm gonna put it here. The good thing about it is that it comes with a box, so there's no way the water is gonna go inside. So even if the water goes inside, you know, that nothing's gonna happen there. Now guys, I'm making a lot of progress here. As you can see, I decided, you know, to change my distribution block box. So this is the cable, you know, that comes from the starter. I use the same cable, I only cut the terminal and I added to the distribution block. This one right here is the one coming from the alternator, and this is the one coming from the battery. The little small one here, I left, you know, a lot of cable just in case, you know, later on I'm going to relocate the little box. I'm going to do it, but if I decide, you know, to do this video relocating, you know, this box too, then it's gonna take longer. So I don't really want to make this video, you know, a long video. So now you have all these things right here. You got the cable coming from the alternator to the distribution block, the one coming from the starter, and the one coming from the box. You already saw, you know, how I put my the cable going straight to the battery, the one for the power, and you saw how I put here my negative cable. I did a hole there and another hole there. So one here and one here, and just make sure, you know, they're really tight. So for my power cable, you already saw how I got it from underneath the car all the way to the distribution block. So now guys, here is the little thing. Okay, let's say if you decide to stop at this point because everything makes sense to you. You already have your ground cables, you already have you're already powering, you know, your alternator, your starter, and your fuse box. If you decide to start the car at this point, the car is not going to start. And the reason why is because, remember the cable that we took from here? That was the negative cable, that's for the ground. So you don't really have to run a cable all the way from the trunk to the front of the car. The only thing that you gotta do here, you're just gonna make some ground, you know, the same cable that you took from here. Not the same cable, but you're gonna add another cable. That's what I told you, to buy 20 feet of 2-gauge wire, and you're gonna need 2 of these big terminals. They are for the you can use the same ones that you use for the alternator. And what we gotta do here, we're just going to connect this one down here and then we're just gonna connect it here. That way we can supply, you know, the engine with ground, so everything can work good. Remember, if you don't add ground to the engine, the car is not going to start. So you make sure you ground the you put the same wire, not the same wire, you know, but 2-gauge wire goes against the engine and to the chassis of the car right here. Let me put those two and then I just show you the rest. Now remember, you gotta do this if you want your car to start. I know for some people it doesn't make sense, but this is just a single wire, just a wire, 2 terminals. One terminal goes here. You can use the same nut that you took out of this, and then you just gotta put it, you know, against the engine. I think that's the transmission, but you just put it there. Just make sure you put it in the same place. Tie the cable really good and just try to, you know, like, just try to hide the cable, because the main reason for doing, you know, a battery relocation is for us to not see as many cables. So as you can see, like I told you, I got rid of that box right there and I put it underneath the rain tray. I got my N249, my N2112 here. So as you see, there's not much cables right now. So then, I mean, at least you're getting the idea. We're gonna be working, you know, little by little. Like, first is the battery of the cables that used to be here, which it was one ground cable going to the chassis, going to the transmission, the other one going to the starter, and the other one that goes to the alternator. We already relocate all that. So now this, you saw our box is there. The only thing that I did to hold the box now, I just drill 2 holes, get the zip tie, you know, from the one hole, get it from the other one, and that's my zip tie there. That's my distribution block. This one's going to the little box. Starter, alternator, and battery. And now I'm about to start the car, so you see that everything is good now. But first I'm gonna put my terminals. Let me see if they're already in. Nope, I still gotta put the terminals. So let me just do this and I'm gonna start the car. Let's go one more time before we start the car. The cable going from the fuse box, which is this little one right here, goes to the distribution block here. This is the one coming from my starter. No, this is the one coming from my alternator, the one coming from the battery, and the one coming from the starter. Now this is the way it looks. Now I still gotta organize these wires, make it look neat. But as you can see, we don't have the battery here and all the other cables. Remember what I told about the ground? This is the one for your ground. It's just from the chassis. You put it into the close the transmission, between transmission and engine. So that's just for ground. If you don't add this ground, the car is not going to start. Now I got rid of this box, send it up here, and I got the N249 and 112 here, and the plug for the secondary air pump. Now distribution box there, wire going all the way to the trunk, and here is the battery. The next video I'm going to show you know how to build your own battery cover for less than, let's say, $20 to $30. That way you don't have to buy one for $100, but if you have the money, do it. I kind of have the money, but I prefer to work on things, you know, doing it myself. That way I get to put the sticker not built by mom and dad. I build it myself. Something like that, guys. So I'm just gonna start the car, let you hear it. The car starts. It's gonna run like crap right now because I still gotta I have a vacuum leak there. Oh, now it's running good. No, it's not really. Yeah, now it's running good. So And then I gotta replace my tensioner, my serpentine belt tensioner, because this was pretty much done. So trunk is alive, guys. Trunk is really a good boy. Other than that, I fried my ECU just because when I was cutting the freaking wires, the two wires from my that go to my power and steering fuel pump, they broke, so the motherfuckers got in touch with each other. So now I gotta see how much Ryan Horn is gonna charge me for another ECU. So this is pretty much for this video, guys. So hopefully, next video I'm just gonna tell what I did to the box. But this is pretty much what you gotta do, to your shit. This is pretty much what you gotta do to your battery relocation. I just got a message from Ryan Horn right now. He said no worries, so that gave me a lot of hope. I really fucked up with the ECU, guys. So whenever you work on your car, make sure you unplug your battery, because any wires, any single, and now I believe that any wires that got in touch with each other is gonna fry your battery, and the EPC light is gonna be on. So that's probably why the car is running like crap right now. As you can see, I have my EPC light on, and that was really my fault, because I didn't see that the two wires coming from the power steering pump, they broke and they got in touch with each other, and that's what messed up my ECU again. So hopefully Ryan Horn is gonna help me with this. So this is pretty much for this video, guys. I hope you like the video. You have any questions, just let me know. The one thing that I gotta tell you, one thing is to relocate the battery, run the cables, and do all that stuff. If you don't ground your engine, like I show you from the transmission to the chassis, the car is not gonna start, and you're gonna be breaking your head and think of many things that can be. Just ground your engine. I know it doesn't make sense for a lot of people, but you just try it. Just try to do your battery relocation like that, and just try to crank to start the engine. It's not gonna start. Once you put your ground cable, then the car is gonna start. Everything's gonna be good. Well, thank you so much for watching this video, guys. I hope you like it. Let me know if there's something that you don't like, or let me know if there's something that I can do to make this upgrade. I'm gonna call it an upgrade, to do this upgrade even better. So just let me know. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you for all the people that are subscribing to the channel, that are supporting the channel. You guys are awesome, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.